There is currently a mystery surrounding Manchester United. What is the tactical direction Erik ten Hag wants to take this football club? Now, this is a conversation which we have had both on live stream but also in the Discord server. By the way, if you want to join the Discord, link in the description. It's free. Check it out. But one of the conversations which we've had there and the questions that people have been asking and almost putting something together a little bit is, could Erik ten Hag be looking to use a back three moving forward? So of course, to investigate this sort of question, I do need to be in my office like this to really get to the bottom of this problem and look at all of the different pieces of evidence which we have pointing towards a back three moving forward. The first piece of evidence is the transfer links which we have seen for Manchester United and the obsession with Manchester United wanting to sign a left-sided defender. Now, the reason that this is such an interesting piece of evidence in this case is because United already have two left-backs. Now Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia. Of course, you might say Tyrell Malacia has been missing all season, so perhaps we'll sell him in the summer. But if you read that article properly, it says, regardless of what happens with Malacia, United will target a left-back. Why would you want three left-backs? Why do you need three left-backs at the club? Unless tactically, you are moving one of them to a left centre-back position in a back three like this. Luke Shaw, of course, could play this sort of role here. And you're changing to a back three, so rather than looking at two left-backs, are you actually looking at two left wing backs for this summer? That is the first piece of evidence pointing to the fact that United might be switching towards a back three. There is also evidence on the other side of the pitch as well, with some other recent transfer news, and that is United's continued interest in Jeremy Frimpong. Of course, currently playing at Bayer Leverkusen, where he's been absolutely incredible. He's got a release clause in his contract, and apparently United could be interested in triggering it. Again, Frimpong is someone who is very much a wing-back and would suit perfectly playing on the right-hand side of this kind of back five turned back three formation. He's not someone who, in my opinion, plays back four as a full-back, back three as a wing-back. Yes, one of the best in the world at this. So why would United want to sign him if they're playing a back four? Again, it points to a back three. Something else which points to a back three is perhaps what feels like the most obvious transfer business for United this summer, Todibo from Nice. Now, Todibo, to me, tactically, looks like that perfect hybrid between he's someone who could play as a right back, which tucks into a back three, or he could play as a right-sided centre-back, which again, in possession, plays on the side of a back three. The best way to do that, naturally, is to just start off with a back three formation and play him in this right centre-back position. If you imagine you then have Lisandro Martinez in the middle, Luke Shaw to the left-hand side, it starts to add up a little bit here. There are certain things now which are coming together pointing to the fact which United may be switching to this sort of formation. Possibly. There's also another key piece of evidence though which I want to bring to your attention, and that is the under-21 side's usage of a back three formation at times this season. Now, they haven't used it all year long, but they have experimented with it at times. Now, why is this important to the Manchester United starting 11? Well, we know for a fact that Erik ten Hag has a say in how the under-21s play and set up, so that when the players are ready to move to the first team, they already understand what is demanded of them. The fact that they're playing a back three, and ten Hag has some influence in that. Could it be happening? Could we see Manchester United moving to a back three? Possibly. There is yet further evidence as well though, and again we are going to look at reported transfer targets for Manchester United. We have all sat here and said that United need a defensive midfielder, someone who sits at the heart of the midfield. Yet United haven't really been linked to one. There has been no link to a true six. The closest things would be Amadou Onana and Mats Weifer, but even they, are they true traditional sixes, or are they eights which want to have the license to push further forward? If that's the case, why? Well, perhaps because we are using a system which doesn't require a six, but instead requires two eights who look to get up and down the pitch. Two hybrid players who at times drop deep to get on the ball, like this, and then at other times they're going to swap. Imagine one of these is Kobbie Mainoo. It better be. But also the other. Does it make sense as to why we have not been linked with that sort of player? We haven't been linked to a true six. Is it because we want to, in the future, use a formation which simply doesn't use a six? Possibly. Possibly. The other question we have to look at, and the other piece of evidence to look at, is Manchester United's current squad. Lisandro Martinez is someone who suits, in my opinion, playing as a middle centre-back in a back three. We've already discussed Luke Shaw on the left-hand side of the back three. But how about further up the pitch? Last summer, we signed a player for a lot of money, and his name was Mason Mount. This was not a cheap signing, and we've all struggled to see how tactically he fits into the side. Well, in a 3-4-3, he was once absolutely brilliant for Chelsea, and it produced his best goal-scoring and assisting season ever in his career. So we already have a player that is used to playing as one of those inside front three. We also have another player who probably ticks that box as well. Bruno Fernandes could play that right-sided position. But how about Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side as an inside forward? Less defensive responsibility with a wing-back, but also a left-sided centre-back behind him. It would give him the licence to come into these dangerous positions on the pitch, get the ball in these areas, move forward. This is literally his best position. Of course, still given the licence at times to rotate out wide and move inside. It could be perfect for him. And the same for Alejandro Garnacho as well. And it would provide us with fierce competition for this spot. That's exactly what Manchester United need. It's exactly what Manchester United need. It also, of course, gives Ten Hag to use a shape which we know that he likes in possession. And that is naturally when the side builds up with possession for a back three to form in possession, as we've seen at times this season. Either one or two central midfielders in front, but also, importantly, the potential to push players forward and overload the last line of defence. Rather than attacking with 3 or 4 players, attacking instead with 5, like this, with the wing-backs pushed forward, or possibly even 6, if we really commit a lot of men up the pitch. Again, there are signs that this could have been Ten Hag's long-term plan all along. He used a similar formation with Utrecht early on in his career. Granted, mostly he was a back 4 manager, but he did use a back 3 at times. Is all the evidence pointing towards that this is actually what Ten Hag wants to do? Does he want to switch to a back 3? What do you guys reckon? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm aware this is a much shorter video than normal, but it doesn't need to go any further than that. We've explored how United could set up in a back 3 in the past. We spoke about it a few weeks ago. Now, when we dive a little bit deeper, there might just be some evidence for it actually being the plan at Manchester United. So like I said, let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this is possible? Is there more evidence that I've missed out which also points towards a back 3? Or do you think this is a load of rubbish and Erik ten Hag will certainly stick with a back 4 should he still be manager next season? Let me know what you think. But apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.